Hello and welcome back. Now we're ready to continue working on this inventory and we're going to bind the ammo icon next. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So here in weapon slot in the designer tab, if we scroll in, we have the ammo icon and this can be bound, and we're going to use similar methods that we used for the previous bindings. So we need an ammo icon texture variable on our item.h class. So let's go to item.h in the private section and create another icon. So let's go ahead and do a texture2d so we can copy the previous variable. And let's call this one ammo icon. And I'm going to just say ammo icon for this item in the inventory and go ahead and compile this. Now, while we're waiting for this to compile, we'll go to base weapon BP and get ready to set this here. All right, so here's our ammo item. We can go ahead and give this a default value. I'm going to give it a default value of AR ammo, why not? And now we have a value in base weapon BP. So back in weapon slot, we can go ahead and bind this now. So let's go to the brush, click bind and create binding. And now we can bind this in this binding function. So we need to check our shooter character BP to see if it is valid. If it is not valid, then we get player pawn. And we cast it to shooter character BP. So we'll hook up the is not valid there. And after the cast, we simply set shooter character BP. And now we have a valid shooter character. Now what we need to do is check to see if there's a weapon in the slot. So we're going to use weapon in slot, and already we're starting to see the usefulness of this function, right? It's reused now for the third time. And so we're going to pass in the slot index and the shooter character BP for weapon in slot. And we're going to call this from both the is valid and the setter for shooter character BP. And then we're going to add a branch and use the in slot boolean. Now we're going to create a return value slate brush, and that's a local variable. So we're going to call this return brush, just like we did in our other functions. And we're going to simply pass that for the return value. And of course, we're going to create another local variable for the blank brush. We're going to call this blank brush. And we'll leave it blank for the image, but we're going to set the tint to have an alpha of 0. Now, if weapon in slot returns false, then we're going to set return brush equal to blank brush. And we'll hook that up. But if there is a weapon in the slot, then we can get our weapon. And from that weapon, we're going to get ammo item. That's the texture2d variable we just created. And we can actually make a slate brush, just like we did in the previous videos. And we'll use that slate brush to set the value of return brush. And then we'll hook that up to the return node. So let's compile and hit, well, before we hit play, just to test this out, let's give some of these different icon images. So let's go to the inventory section and we'll give this first one an SMG ammo icon. So SMG icon, and we'll leave the rest at AR. So let's go ahead and hit play and pick up this weapon. And it looks like, oops, I selected the SMG icon. And so we see an actual tiny little SMG right there. And so that's kind of funny. Instead of SMG icon, I'm going to use small ammo. Small ammo. The next one uses AR ammo. So we have two different ones to check. So let's pick up the first weapon. And you can see the small ammo. Let's pick up the second weapon and you can see it. Now it might be hard to see, so I'm going to go ahead and do a full screen to show you just what this looks like. So we'll pick up this weapon and you see the small ammo. Picking up this one, you see the large ammo, the AR ammo. This one has the AR ammo because it's the default value. So we've successfully bound the icon for the ammo type. So that is going to conclude this video. Now, the last thing we need to bind on this is the actual text, the number here that depicts how much ammo is in the gun. So we'll do that in the next video. See you then.